pulls down on so many of us in today's difficult times. Welcome to Faithful Families, to help you and your family. So, welcome, my friends. Hello, faithful family, friends, listening audience, and those people I welcome to you. I say again, thank you for being with us. And today we're going to discuss a topic that so many people are worried about. So many parents of any age who have children, grandparents, are concerned about their grandchildren. It is a cultural pressure that is out there in the big wide world, discussed all over the place in today's world. And right now, I'm so thankful and happy to welcome someone who very much is in the middle of this kind of thing. She is a mother. She is a wonderful wife. She is a good friend. She is a school teacher. She is a private tutor. And therefore, she has daily contact with this very subject of dealing with the pressures of culture on young children. Her name is Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. You're always fun and upbeat and bouncy, regardless of, I think you've got about 12 daughters now, and maybe not quite that many. Thank you. What I want to say is, and we may hear her children, sweet noises in the background. I think they're in the park or somewhere like this now. So that's just what mothers do. Heather, what would you say? The time is yours. The broadcast is yours to share your thoughts and heart and experiences to others exactly like you folks as young parents for today.
Up just a little bit.
What would, is that any better? Go ahead.
Yes.
Just share whatever you like. I can hear you just fine.
Okay. I think that there are so many pressures and struggles that parents make, especially young parents, if you will. I don't know if I even consider myself a young parent anymore.
You are.
My kids get older and they have a lot of attitude, let me tell you. I feel like I'm raising teenagers and they're 6, 5, and 2.
Call me in a few years, okay?
Yeah, I know. So I do feel like there are daily pressures just trying to keep yourself sane. And then I think that if we peel back layers, I think broadly, everybody wants to raise moral, good kids. I think that's like a general consensus when you're raising children.
Certainly.
But how do we do that? And what things are absolutes? And what do we spend our effort on? And what are things we can just learn to let go? And how do we find that balance? I think that's more of like the general pool of parenting, if you will.
It is all over the country, isn't it? It's not just unique to where we live or where someone else may be raising children. It is pervasive across the whole country. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I would even say worldwide. I mean, throughout cultures, you can see different families. I mean, they all want the best for their kids, regardless of, language barriers or what have you. It's
right.
Global, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
How do you see this play out, or not? Maybe play is not the right term, but how do you see this happening in your concerns for your precious children? What are you worried about?
Well, my husband and I, he's a pastor, and so we always go back to God's word, and that's us. I'm not saying that's everybody, but for us, that's how we navigate our absolutes. And when we look at God's word, we see things that we want our kids to know and love Jesus, and what does that look like? And we have to peel back layers, and that means it's our job to teach them God's word. It's our job to introduce hard and controversial topics to them, obviously at age-appropriate times. But it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of struggle, but when we have support like you and other friends and family and church members that come alongside us and give wisdom. We seek wisdom. We ask for it. We don't just wait, to figure stuff out. We know we don't have it figured out. So, we do seek out discernment and wisdom from God's word, and then also people we trust that have gone before and raised their own kids. And you look at them and go, hey, and nobody has it all together, but they turned out, decent. They turned out to be good kids or good adults, and you go, hey, shine some light on me. Help me navigate this.
In your congregation, in your church, which I'm going to say is sort of on the smaller, medium side, how much concern do you find in parents about your age as well?
I would say a lot. I think it's a very interesting thing because I have some deep-rooted friendships when I was young, and now some of our friends go to our church. And I asked them, why do you do that? And they said, because we need community. We need people who can raise kids alongside us that believe the same as us, that want the same standards for our kids. We call it our tribe. So it's a big thing. Why go to a certain church or why don't? Well, if you can have people who believe the same and have the same values and want to raise your kids the same, when we tell our kids, we're not going to be watching that television show, and neither are this family or this family. Now, that doesn't always happen. You can't always unite on every single thing, but it makes it more like we're united on making decisions more as a team, and the capital C church, as opposed to the truth family navigating life and hoping it goes well.
Yes, I hear this question phrased in many different ways. The difference between raising a child and just letting a child grow up. How much of a difference do you feel in your raising your children, precious they are, letting them grow up, following whatever the world shares, displays to them, versus bringing them up? What's that difference for you?
Between raising children and bringing them up, I would say the difference is raising them, I think of training them. I think of zones. Right now I'm in the training zone. I'm training, and it's a lot of relentless effort and a lot of continual mistakes, and they still don't listen. But if we're persistent in our discipline and our love, they go hand in hand, right? Then that hope would be, as they grow up, they learn to do things on their own from the experiences and the boundaries they had when they were little. They make those choices for themselves.
Here's what I actually meant.
Parenting.
Helicopter parenting, yeah. Here's what I meant. The difference between raising and bringing children up, guiding them, versus just allowing them to grow up on their own from culture and television and other sources of input, just guiding them versus just letting them do whatever. What's that difference? That's what I was looking for.
The difference is similarly, in some ways, like you have to create boundaries and standards and like I said, our guide is the Bible for our family, and this is why we do things and why we don't do things. If you don't have those structures set in place, they're going to do whatever they want. Children are not born innately to do right and to do well and to obey.
Yeah.
They're just not. That's not how they're born. So if they don't have any sort of structure and boundaries set in place and consequences for when they don't do the right thing, they'll just do whatever they want and grow up to have no standards. So then what is the standard for the television? It doesn't matter. They watch what they want. What is the standard for having iPad time? They'll get on whatever they want. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? There's going to be, they'll do whatever they want. They don't create boundaries.
And are you saying this difference is where the struggle for people who really want to raise spiritual children, that's where that struggle actually pinpoints, right?
Right. Absolutely. it's a lot of work, like I said earlier. It's relentless effort because you're constantly evaluating and reevaluating. And my husband always goes, "Oh, mom's trying a new thing because, hey, that wasn't working," or maybe mommy was short-tempered and that wasn't right for me to act that way to you. And
I didn't. I didn't know that raising children was a job, that it took effort. Our twins are only 48 years old and our younger daughter is 44, and we have 5 wonderful grandsons. I had no idea that it took effort. And
you have all the knowledge. You have quite the repertoire built. And I know in your book you talk about these things, and it is so important for people to take a minute, take a look at the book. I would recommend it to anybody. You need to have support. People that are raising kids must have support. And that goes through community, literature, like I said earlier, discernment of those who've gone before.
Well, we've got to close now. And after we sign off, you can give me your whole video about this. Here's the deal. Would you? I'm just having fun with you. I like to make fun of you, and our family loves you and your family. That's just the way it is. Would you recommend Faithful Families Today Ministry, the book, and counseling? The offer my work, my ministry. Would you recommend that? What would you say about that briefly?
10 out of 10. Like I said earlier, it is those who are raising children can't do it alone. And you have done a great job in your book and in your life. I'll say that because I've known you for so long. You relentlessly pursue people and are available. And this book is just going to compile all the knowledge you have in life experience and as a pastor and as a doctor and as a dad. I think there's lots of boxes that get checked in this book.
Well, that's enough now. That's enough. Thank you. Thank you very much. And as we close, I want to tell this to the listeners. My offer to you is if you are a young parent, if you are a mother, a father, or a single parent trying to do everything that you know to do for your child or children, and at the same time hold on to your own positive growth, I offer you a free introductory Zoom call or telephone call, will not cost you a penny, to see what your story is and what your struggle is and how I can be of help to you. That's just the way it is. That's my ministry. That is my life. That is my passion. That is my pattern. So if you will go to the website Faithful Families Today, faithfulfamilies.com, go to the contact page. List your method by which I can contact you. I will do that. I commit that. I will contact you, and we will have a free introductory session so I can understand what you're dealing with and see how I may be able also to help you. Thank you for doing that. Heather, you are marvelous. And I want to repeat as we close, there are a lot of good young parents just like you. And I thank you for doing that. Thank you for those sweet sounds in the background. That's exactly what we're talking about. And as your children grow up, you know my phone number, right?
I do. I have it saved.
Okay, thank you. We're going to sign off now. Thank you for being with us. Okay, bye.